1. I never really thought of this as a glitch, but more of a confusion between two people, although it made me feel off for a long while afterwards. Backstory. Parents were divorced, and I ended up being left by my maternal grandparents to raise me. My birth giver became a biker with trucker boyfriends, and my dad phoned me once in a blue moon, but both moved out of town, but also moved back after a few years and then back to other towns. It's relevant because during the moving back and forth, I met people like their significant others, and met people along the way. I was about 10 to 11 then. It was a Sunday, and I just finished up my homework when I decided to phone my dad. Go to contacts, and I phone my dad. No answer. I try once more, and same results. About an hour later, I see a missed call from him, and a voicemail saying he saw a single missed call from me, and asked if all was okay. I immediately phoned back, and he answers. He used my nickname, and we started talking. I asked him how my grandparents are, and although I used my granddad's name, I always called my Gran. It's specific names, and not many people here are called by those names. The conversation went on where he asked me how school was, how sports, and so on. Just a normal conversation. Later, during the conversation, I thought I'd mentioned that his ex's daughter, same age as me, is now in my school, but for some reason, she is a grade below me. A few seconds of silence passed, and I said to him that his ex cheered us on with a game at school, and she still remembers me. My dad changed the conversation, and I asked him how his current girlfriend was doing, and he goes on to tell me she is no longer with him, and that she left to stay by her mother. He mentions to me that the ex I saw must have been someone else, as he attended her funeral the previous week. Note: I saw her after the time he attended the funeral. To rid the conversation of awkwardness, I mentioned my dog Phoenix, and how he looks like my dad's dog Tiny. My dad kept quiet and asked me if I'm feeling okay. Assuring him I'm fine, he responds by telling me his dog is called something else, and he has never had a dog like mine. He sounded irritated, and told me that my mom promised him that she would buy a dog for me for my birthday. And I told him I got the dog from my great aunt, and my mom didn't get the dog for me. He sounded even more off. He told me to stop playing tricks, and that he wants to speak to my mom. I told him my mom didn't come visit, but she said she will at Christmas. Angrily, he asked me where I was, and I told him at home with my gran. He told me he is going to phone my mom and give her a piece of his mind. So I say he shouldn't, but I need to go because I have school the next day. He asked me in which school I was, and I told him and decided to describe the uniform. He told me I wasn't being funny, and that the school uniform was green and salmon, and that the school was named differently. Same place, but different name and uniforms. I told him I had to go and hung up. I started crying because I didn't know what had happened. An hour later, I see the phone ring, and it's him. I ignore it and pretend I wasn't around to hear it. He proceeds to phone my gran and said he couldn't get a hold of me. She handed the phone to me, and I asked him if he was still angry, and what did my mother say. He sounded confused and asked me why I think he'd be upset. So I told him what happened. The number I dialed and had the conversation with was the exact number he was phoning from. He told me that he was out fishing alone by the dam, and the phone was in his pocket the whole time. Edit. For the record, the girlfriend at the time never left him, and his ex is still alive and kicking. 2. Now, I'm not one of those something crazy happened to me and I told no one people. This happened to me, and you best believe I told everyone who would listen. A lot of people roll their eyes, awkward Tinder dates, laugh nervously, and never text back, but I pioneer on with the truth. For a while, I thought it was a bizarre ghost story, but now I see it for what it is. A glitch. This takes place on a weekday night about 2 years ago, My friend and I are juniors in college, hanging out in the common room of my dorm. No drugs, no alcohol, not tired. After we decide we've done enough homework for one lifetime, we go to the CVS down the street, more out of boredom rather than hunger. We get there and notice there's a 2 for $1 sale on Arizona iced tea. Since Arizona iced tea is the nectar of the gods, and since it's such a bargain, we buy 2. I get the raspberry flavor because why would you get something else? My friend is being adventurous and gets the grapeade one, even though everyone knows anything grape flavored tastes like children's Motrin. I'm a supportive friend, so whatever. We buy our Arizona iced teas and walk out. Once outside, my friend is so eager to try this new grapeade that he opens it and, in the process, breaks off the little metal tab on his can. I laugh. He puts it in his pocket. I ask him how the grapeade tastes. He says it's fine. I know it's horrible. I open my raspberry iced tea and stick to the true gospel. We make it back to my common room and watch some TV, on YouTube, on my laptop. We're watching some quality entertainment, aka Maury, sipping on our Arizona iced tea, like it's an average Tuesday night. And then at one point, I go to sip my raspberry iced tea, and I just stare at it for a while. My friend looks over. You know something is wrong if someone can pull away their eyes from a Maury episode, and says, "What's wrong?" I'm just staring at my iced tea can, trying to figure out why I'm staring at it. I say, "I don't know, something's different." And then, the big gaping hole in my can hits me. Oh, I just don't remember breaking the tab off my can. We look at my can, and the metal tab is gone. Huh, okay. And my friend is like, "Oh yeah, I did that to mine too, remember?" He picks up his grapeade and the metal tab to his can is there. Huh, okay. We both remember ripping off the metal tab on the grapeade outside the CVS. He even reaches into his pocket and pulls out the metal tab that allegedly had broken off his can. But now his can is cured, and mine is the one with the missing tab. We are both stunned. The metal tab fits onto my can as well as any broken metal tab can, but we are both certain that we never switched drinks. Like, I would be caught dead holding grapeade. I didn't break my tab off at any point, and I was staring at my can for so long because something had clearly changed in the last 10 seconds. We have no explanation for this. We laughed it off at the time, so we understand when other people laugh at us. But this really minor, seemingly trivial event really freaked us out. This will henceforth be known as the Great Arizona Iced Tea Switch Glitch of late 2013. Edit. Thought this story would get lost and be read by like 2 people, so thank you to everyone for your time and comments. It's very encouraging to know that other people believed me and would consider going on a Tinder date with me. The world is weird but pretty sweet. Let's glitch and chill sometime. 3. Okay, I'm a little weirded out here. First thing I will say is I do not believe in ghosts and never will. So if your reply will include this word, don't. Just don't. I've been reading this forum for a while, and take great interest in quantum mechanics, etc. I've never felt the need to register and post. Until now. So I've been going through a really tough time of late, and my life is pretty much in tatters. When I say tatters, I mean tatters. I've moved out of my house, and can't see my son often. So last night my partner, who still stays in the house, went on holiday for 4 days. So I come to stay in the house, accompanied by my 24 case of bud. About 4 hours ago, I put about 19 of the buds in the fridge, and placed the box on top of the stove, 4-ring stove with metal bars to hold the pots. So to my story. About 20 minutes ago, I was sitting here watching Alan Adams' The Discovery That Could Rewrite Physics on YouTube, when I heard an almighty bang downstairs. I thought, it must be the neighbour, but I went downstairs to check it out anyway. My box had fallen to the ground, and 1 bottle was smashed, 4 left intact. There was absolutely no way this box could have fallen in the way it did without being pushed. But all the doors in the house are locked, and I'm the one person here. The bottles were all at the rear of the box, but even so, there is no conceivable way I can think of that this box could have fallen to the floor unaided. What's going on? 4. Okay, this just happened like 10 minutes ago. I was lying with 3 blankets on the floor. I had 2 of them folded and resting on them, and the other one I had it to cover me. So I'm just there when I feel something on my foot, and I get up immediately, phone in my hand, and just what I thought, a cockroach. It was dead, and I must have stepped on it accidentally when I got up because I didn't actually want to kill it. Anyway, I noticed I left a plate with popcorn and a cup next to where I was lying, so I took them and I put them aside on my desk so I could take them into the kitchen later, as I'm a lazy fuck. Next, I grabbed the second blanket, the one with the dead cockroach, and go to my laundry room and throw it there. The third blanket, the one I used to cover me, is left in the middle of the mess. Okay, so when I come back from the laundry room, I go straight to my blankets, and was about to get in them, so I lift the third blanket to move it, and the damn plate and cup are there. I got so confused because I clearly remember I put them on my desk, and since my 2 siblings are downstairs and my mom's sleeping, and no one could have done that, I obviously freak out and call my boyfriend. He just brushes it off, saying I must have put them there myself without noticing. And I don't think so because, like I said, I clearly remember placing them elsewhere. I'm not saying a ghost did it or anything like that, but I obviously got weirded out, and something like this has happened to me before, so I don't know. I hope this is not too confusing. Any thoughts? 5. So about 2 months ago, me and my boyfriend went on a trip to Greece. On about the 3rd day of our trip, we rented a car. We were gonna be away the whole day, so we decided that it was best to put our valuable stuff in the safe in our hotel room. When we opened it, we found a wallet. So naturally, we investigated it a bit. There was a driver's license in it, some cards, the usual stuff, and a photo of a woman. We didn't have time to take the wallet to the reception, so we just left it in the safe. We kind of forgot about it, and a few days later, we went for a drink at the bar in our hotel. We saw a man and a woman sitting at a table next to us. Important detail. We come from Holland, so we speak Dutch. The driver's license said that the man is from Belgium, so that means they'd either speak Dutch with a Belgian accent or French. So we saw this man and woman, and I told my boyfriend that they really looked like the man and the woman the wallet belonged to. They also spoke Dutch with a Belgian accent. So my boyfriend asked them if the man had lost his wallet. I was totally convinced we found them because they looked exactly like the pictures. Both of them. But the man said no. So we're kinda weirded out, but we just let it go. The last day of our stay, we went to reception to drop off the wallet. A few hours later, we got a call that they found the owner of the wallet, and that the man was still in the hotel. Important detail, as the days went by, we saw the man and woman a few times. So if they found out the wallet was theirs, after all, they probably would have approached us. I know this isn't really spectacular or anything, but at the time I found it really weird. Why would there be a couple that looked exactly like them? Or why would they lie about losing the wallet? I have so many questions. Or maybe it's just a weird coincidence. What do you guys think? Hey everyone, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to 5 true Glitch in the Matrix stories. Sorry the video's a bit shorter this week, but beggars can't be choosers, and when it comes to duration, you've pretty much got to take what you can get. So massive thanks to the people who allowed me to use their stories. I do have a fairy tale there I'll probably upload as a bonus later today though. I'm suddenly realizing I've only got a few days to get my next feature video ready, and I'm fast running out of time. So with that in mind, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.